Shabbat Shalom everyone. Shabbat Parashat Vayishlach. Let's see what we can learn from Parashat Vayishlach. Learn something from here about relationships and how to deal with it. In general, what I wanted to speak about today is good not only for relationships, but it's very crucial in relationships. Like many things in life, that they're true for all aspects of life. But when we come into relationships, married relationships, they become crucial. So let's see, the Parashat starts off saying, Vayishlach Yaakov malachim lefanav el Esav achiv arza seir sde Edom. Yaakov Avinu sends angels, messengers to Esav, to Seir. Let's see what's happening here. Yaakov is coming from Haran. Haran is somewhere in Syria, southern Syria, central Syria. He's coming from Syria. He wants to go back to Israel, to Yitzchak Avinu. He left Israel, running away from his brother Esav. Esav, in the meantime, has also left Israel, because it says that when Yaakov wants to send the messengers, he's sending them to Arza Seir Sde Edom. That's in Jordan, areas of Jordan that are somewhere between Yam HaMelech and Elat, up on the Jordanian side. So theoretically, Yaakov can come into Israel, can cross the Jordan River somewhere high up, and make his way down towards Yitzchak, and everything's fine. Esav is left anyway. He's not there fighting to be in the whoever's going to continue Yitzchak. He's given up on that. So why doesn't Yaakov do that? Chazal say that it's like someone walking past a sleeping bear and throwing stones at the bear to wake him up. What do you mean? Move, get over it quietly, get away, move on. Why are you doing that? So Yaakov knows that there's an issue between him and Esav. He knows Esav has got something against him, and he knows Esav still feels about it. And now Yaakov has to decide how is he going to approach this issue. One option is to say, okay, right now, things are quiet. If things are quieter now, things are okay now, I can go back, meet Yitzchak. I haven't seen him for 20 years. My father, my dear father, let's go and do that. And Esav, when there's a problem again, we'll see what to do with it then. But Yaakov doesn't do that. Yaakov says, no, we've got a problem here. We've got a problem between me and Esav, and we need to deal with it. We need to talk about it. We need to see what we're doing about it. For that, he sends messengers, especially to Esav. And we see when Esav hears what, Yaakov's going back to Israel, he comes with 400 men with him. Okay, that's not a peace treaty. That's something else going on over there. And Yaakov has to go through the getting ready for war and prayers and sending a present to Esav, until eventually he manages to ease Esav out of it and break it down. Also, not finally ending everything, but bring it to a situation where Esav says, okay, yehi lecha asher lecha. Esav says, what's yours is yours. Okay, that's a major statement coming from Esav to Yaakov, after him accusing him of stealing what belongs to him. In the same way, sometimes within relationships, there are issues that rise. Why do these issues rise? Different behaviors, different habits. How do we define order? What areas should be set in the house in one way, another way? One spouse leaves some things around, and the other one disturbs him, so he moves them away. Or how do we react when with other people, with the in-laws, with parents, often one spouse acts in a way that the other spouse feels uncomfortable. Either they feel they're showing off too much, or they feel that they back at home, so now they're acting like a kid and forgetting that they're actually married now and they need to take care of the spouse. Many, many different things like that. Normally what happens is a bad feeling arises, but it passes because things go on. We don't stay stuck in that, and then we go on in life. And every time again we're going to meet that situation, again it's going to rise some kind of bad feeling. But often that bad feeling won't be dealt with. It will just be left that way. And when we get back home after spending time with people or something like that, or we see that our spouse moved stuff that we'd left somewhere, and by the time we meet them and everything, we met our spouse, we're so happy, we're so happy to meet my wife, we meet the husband, and we forget about it. Forget about what's happening, because really the good is so much greater than that. But these undealt with issues, they slowly grow. We say in Hebrew, shedim ohavim choshech. Bad elements enjoy the darkness, enjoy not being dealt with. And what we need is to approach these things and deal with them. How do we do that? The way to do that is to set a time during the week, a time we're going to sit down and speak about issues in our relationships. Now, what normally happens, what typically happens when a time like that is set? It's a time that's set to deal with our relationship. It's the peak of the week. It's the best thing. Now the two spouses are down and everything's organized, everything's good. They're having a cup of coffee or something else and they sit down together. Who wants to speak now about problems? Everything's so good. The world is looking great. It's nothing better in the world than spouses sitting down to discuss themselves. But the secret is in these times to be able to raise those topics. When the feeling happens, write it down and save it for that moment. Save it when everything's good. Now is the time to deal with the problems. From within this very good atmosphere and the way things are, now is the time. Let's deal with it. Let's speak about it. Often when we start speaking about it, it looks like Esav coming with the 400 people. Suddenly you raise a topic and all the feelings rise again and say, why do I need that? Why do I need it when it's not happening? That's exactly what we need. We need to deal with it. And I've got no doubt that anyone that does that will find that things just improve and reach heights that you can't even imagine how good things could be. So Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom.